Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. Thanks for watching today on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. Coming up in this hour, Warren Sharp, his reaction to Week 13 in the National Football League, and some player props tonight, Monday Night Football between the Patriots and the Giants. Also, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly, Pauly. And as we do every Monday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, we begin by looking ahead to the next week in the NFL and the numbers on the board. Thursday night, we've been calling this a loser leaves town match now for a week, basically, well, since at least last Friday. Cowboys are at the Lions, and the Lions are 3, and the total is 53.5. The look-ahead number on this was Detroit 6.
Yikes.
Now 3.
Yep.
So the Cowboys right now are plus 320 at DraftKings to make the playoffs. The Lions to make are plus 115. If the Cowboys win this game, they play December 14th, that's week 15, at home to Minnesota. They get the Chargers at home. They're at Washington on Christmas and at the Giants. Meanwhile, Detroit, after this game, they play at the Rams. I got to tell you, they should absolutely annihilate Pittsburgh in 2 weeks.
Yes, they should.
They're at Minnesota, who they inexplicably lost to earlier in the season.
Oh, how bad does that look now?
No kidding.
What happened in that game?
McCarthy was okay,
Turnovers too, yeah.
and then they close at the Bears. I can't believe I'm saying this. Maybe the Bears need that for the 1 seed.
Yeah.
That seems very unlikely, but maybe
It's doable, though.
certainly to win the division.
Yeah. If they win Thursday, they're okay. Better case. But they're running. I still think the odds, they should be like minus $2 to miss, in my opinion. Because San Francisco gets to 10, easy, maybe 11. They're waiting for the Bears to fall back, but you're running out of time.
Right.
The Packers were minus 1,200. They came down, I guess, because of the Carolina win. Packers are down to $9. It's just hard to make a case for the Lions right now, based on all these other teams aren't losing.
Sure.
So I think the total's too high. And now after that one great performance, this hasn't been great for Campbell calling the plays. I know they've had a plethora of injuries, but they're 0 for their last 7 on 4th down, too.
Tell me I'm overreacting here. But in pocket, I already have the Cowboys plus 3.5. Tell me I should not be betting them to win the game outright. Can you talk me off Dallas?
No, I can't. It's good. I don't see how Detroit's going to slow them down either. Someone made the point the other day. They might have 2 of the best 7 wide receivers in football. The year Pickens is having.
Oh, Pickens has been incredible.
And Dak's having a good year.
I think Dallas is absolutely going to score in this game, and I don't know if Detroit can keep up.
Mm-hmm.
That offense for Dallas will be an issue for this Detroit defense. There's no question in my mind.
It'll be a great game for props, though.
Probably.
It'll be a lot of fun.
And so what happens if Gibbs and Montgomery cannot run the football against this suddenly, much better rush defense by Dallas?
Who's gonna okay, Williams props. But other than that, you're down 2 tight ends? You're down St. Brown? Mm-hmm. The Ragnow? How about that news? I unretire, I come back, can't pass a physical,
sure.
I'm done.
Right.
All the injuries on the O-line, and I'll tell you, the defense, what happened? No pressure, can't get stops.
Well, I'll put it this way.
And the Winston thing was alarming too. You couldn't stop McCarthy, and you couldn't stop Winston.
Yeah, and Jordan Love probably had his best game to date, this season anyway. He was fantastic on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all in here on Dallas. And if that happens, I'm only somewhat exaggerating here. They're going to they have a great path to make the playoffs, in my opinion.
They're a lot like Houston.
Yes, they are.
The pass there, they're peaking, they're playing good ball. And you wouldn't want to see them in January.
Absolutely not. The Saints are playing at the Buccaneers. Tampa's 8.5, total 42.5. I can kiss my Emeka Egbuka Rookie of the Year goodbye.
Oh, come on. Why? He had 440 yards.
It's 5 games in a row where he's done basically nothing because Mayfield can't get him the ball.
A lot of guys are coming back now, too. So getting healthy. Bucky had a touchdown.
Bucky looked good yesterday.
Bucky looked good. Got out of there with the win. And again, the Saints, that should have been a blowout. Tua was terrible. Couldn't put him away. But again, the 1-11 ATS run in the first quarter. Shuck had some bad throws. Olave's banged up. Tampa should win this game.
Tampa Bay is going to be very popular for those who save them in survivor pools across the country and beyond. Mm-hmm. And I also like them down in a teaser as well. to get below 7 and below 3 in this game.
Yeah.
The Bengals are at the Bills. Buffalo's laying 6. Total is 51.5. Is that too many points?
I think so, yeah.
I like what you said earlier. Yeah, the Bills looked good yesterday, but that was also a lot of awful Pittsburgh in that game.
Mm-hmm. No Hendrickson again. We'll see if Cook can gash him on the ground.
That certainly is possible.
And a little concerned about the passing attack. Good to have Coleman back. But this is going to be Burrow magic. And I know a lot of people tweeted us after the Thanksgiving night game. Crazier things have happened. 11, 12-1 to make the playoffs. That's down to 9 now.
Yeah, about 9-1 in that range. I think this is a winnable game for Cincinnati. They're on extended rest.
Burrow kills Buffalo.
Absolutely, he does. After this, then, they get Baltimore again. I don't know if it's going to be a replay of what we saw on Thanksgiving night, but I think they can probably win that game. They're at Miami, winnable. They get Arizona at home, winnable. Cleveland at home.
Yeah.
So, like you said, about 9-1 to win, just to make the playoffs. If you want to get absolutely bonkers crazy, they are a huge number to win the division as well, because nobody wants to run away with it.
We've seen it before. That Denver Bronco team with Jay Cutler had a 4-game lead with 5 to play and blew it to Phillip Rivers.
Yep.
All right, this is not going to go well for Kirk Cousins. Seattle 7.5 against Atlanta.
No, that's going to be a very ugly football game, probably.
Yeah. And I got to see more out of Darnold. He's got to do a better job. Too many turnovers. Panic when he sees pressure.
Yep.
Horrible performance offensively. Got to do a better job here against Atlanta. I think he will. And that's a tough loss for Atlanta. What are you doing fielding a punt inside the 3-yard line? I'm sick of this. Happens every week, multiple times. I mean, guys just fumble, muffs. You stand at the 10. If it goes over your head, leave it. Guy fumbles a punt at the 3-yard line. Oh,
I can't believe they're not.
What are you doing?
Is this like, do the coaches not actually go over this with them? Or do they, and then the players just ignore it? That was always my thing in college basketball like 15 years ago. It became a thing at the end of games, down by 2 with the ball, for one player on the team to dribble it for the final 12 seconds and take a 25-foot 3 at the buzzer to try to be Mr. Hero.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way that was discussed in the timeout.
Yeah,
no
right.
chance the coach said, this is what we're going to do to win the game.
Guy's going rogue.
Like this, it has to be.
I hope. All right. Teaser?
Yes.
Got it. They got to win that game.
Because if Bijan, like the only way that the Falcons can like keep this one close or win it would be Bijan has to go absolutely crazy.
London's supposed to be back. This is a team. You beat the Saints. Congrats, but boy, it's been bad. Not making the playoffs. How was Morris still there? Ugly season.
I will say that if the Vikings actually do the right thing yesterday and kick the field goal, assuming it's good, that game is like 6-3 at halftime. Seattle.
We have gone so far. What the board did, no one wants to kick a field goal anymore.
No.
In low-scoring games.
Right, and that's my point in that game.
And then you draw up crap.
If that's, again, the play calling and the execution. I don't even mind if people go for it whenever on 4th and short, and wherever you're at on the football field. I'm always pro that. But the play calling and the execution is what has killed me now for so long, and it's not getting any better. And if you're KOC watching the game, Darnold is in trouble every time he drops back to pass. Flores is dialing up the blitz. And Seattle's offense has no answer. They're not scoring on you in the game. The offense is stuck in neutral at best. So put points on the board to maybe make it 6-3 because Seattle got one there at the end of halftime. You're in the game at that point. Plus, you have a shaky and questionable quarterback, and you don't know what the hell's going to happen with the guy. It's like, I love KOC going into this year.
It was like LSU, Oklahoma. LSU is not going to score unless Oklahoma screws up.
Right.
And Mateer kept doing it.
He did. So the Steelers are playing at the Ravens as well this week. Baltimore 6.5.
What? 5? It's 5.5 at DK now. Steeler money.
Oh, it was 6.5 earlier. Okay.
I don't agree with that move. Got to get a nasty performance, a foul mood with the Ravens. I don't think it's going to go well for Rodgers. There's just so many damning quotes coming out. Can't move. Not on the same page with the White. It's December. When you're not on the same. Guys aren't showing up to meetings. Guys don't know the audibles and stuff. What is this?
I don't know if I'd play him.
God, they should blow him out.
They absolutely should. And by the way, if it is going to be Rodgers in this game, why not just do the same thing that you did to Shedeur Sanders a couple weeks ago?
Right.
Blitz him the entire game.
Can't move. But if they don't, then it's not going to happen, and they're totally fugazi.
Right. One more quickly here.
Yeah.
Colts are 1.5 at Jacksonville. Are we sure the right team's favored in this game?
So they've won 4 or 5, and the loss was the Davis Mills comeback.
Yep.
They're playing good ball. And they're $6 to make the playoffs now. It's a whole different ball game when this guy can't move. He cannot move. And he's not going to run.
Right.
So I can sell out to stop the run. That helps. And he's got to get rid of the ball so fast.
That looked a lot like the idea here. We're getting a lot of feedback, by the way, on Jackson Dart tonight. Like, he's got to be that guy who goes out and runs, like you were saying earlier, because that's who he is.
So that makes the offense go.
And if you take that away from him, it's not going to be the same thing overall for the offense.
Well, you might be right. 48.5 is crazy high to me.
I would agree. Yeah, I think these Colts numbers, again, that game went under yesterday. It got shaky there for a minute against Houston. But I think these are almost priced as if it's week 3 Indianapolis.
And I got 2 props here. Pierce goes over every game but one. And the rapport that he has with Myers. And he caught the big one early.
That's right.
So Lawrence really looks to Myers a lot. Ready to boost your bankroll? Broncos give new depositors a 50% purchase bonus. Use promo code VSiN when you sign up. Broncos lines are live on the VSiN betting splits page. See where the action's moving before you bet. Turn your bonus into the edge with insights that matter. PlayBrocco.com, promo code VSiN.
More Week 14 numbers on tap, including some very strong matchups in prime time. Very interesting numbers here for the Chiefs when you compare this week to what they were laying in previous games. We'll run it down for you coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Warren Sharp's going to join the program coming up in 15 minutes. His reaction, Week 13 NFL, what he likes tonight. By the way, Giants and the Patriots. More games now, Week 14. We did not get to Titans-Browns in that previous segment. Browns are about 4.5 total, 33.5.
All right, Sanders again. Great job defensively. Hello, Myles Garrett. I think he sets the record in this game. 10 times or 10 games. Ward's been sacked 3 times. Most sacked quarterback in the league. They've lost 11 in a row at home. They can't score. Hello, Garrett. And horrible job by Stefanski. That's a close game. 4th and 1 at his own 33. He runs the tush-push with Fannin. Never fumbled it. Never had a chance.
Nope.
Ball game.
That was it. All she wrote.
33 the total.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how about just pure and simple here? Titans team total under.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Like
Good approach. Good approach.
Maybe, how about Cam Ward gets pulled in this game?
How about DeMarcado does the right thing? They're going to go 0-17.
Yeah.
This team is
there
awful.
You go.
And McCoy needs to go, too. No improvement.
Dolphins at the Jets. Miami's 2.5, 41.5 here.
Jets are showing fight.
They are?
They're fun for props, too. Mechie didn't work out, but Mitchell had a big game. They are 5-1 ATS, last 6 as a dog.
I tell you, go back and look at the Miami schedule. If they didn't blow a handful of games,
you got
this
that
year,
too.
They'd be. I'm not going to say that they'd be AFC East champs, but they'd be in a pretty good spot to make the playoffs this year.
I don't want Tua in cold weather.
That's a good angle.
Though Waller should go over the prop. They make his number low again. Take Waller. Should have had a touchdown. Couldn't get his feet in, and had 40 yards early in the game.
All right. So what do you want to do with this game? We just talked about Vikings Seahawks. Commanders were 1.5. They're now 2 at most spots. Total here, low 40s against Minnesota. This has to be McCarthy, right?
Yeah, he's back.
Our buddy Paul Charge, he had said yesterday on Twitter, you got to play him now. You got to start him the rest of the way just to see what you have.
Right.
You have to.
Yep. I'm concerned about the morale, big time.
Yeah, you have to be.
Now, they let Adam Thielen go. He wanted to play. He couldn't even get on the field. Other than Hawkinson, they can't get anything going. Jefferson, non-factor. Addison, you see this stuff on the bench. And I think it's Daniels. But if it's not, you got to be fine with Washington. And since Dan Quinn has taken over defensive play calling duties, they've improved. And they lose back-to-back overtime games. So Mariota's been in there and playing well in the last couple of games.
Yeah, I think that I'm okay here with Mariota.
Well, if it's Daniels, come on.
Yeah, I know. You're right, because, again, the Minnesota defense was so good yesterday. if they had any sort of quarterback play, they win that game yesterday. Darnold was not going to beat that team, and yet they lost 26-0. At some point, Paul, what you just said, the defense will lose their minds to the point of like the bickering, and we can't wait to get the season over with. And you could be looking at maybe if football's different than basketball, but maybe like a 1-2-3 Cancun situation here.
Yeah.
Broncos are 7.5 out here in Las Vegas against the Raiders. Total is 40.5. They've taken some money at some spots. They're up to 8. And Raiders were in this game when they played a couple Thursdays ago in Denver.
Yeah, that's the only concern I have. Again, the Broncos play down to their competition.
Mm-hmm.
But plenty of Bronco fans will be out here. No home field, and not much changed. Horrible offensive line, can't protect Geno, can't run the ball. All they have is Bowers. And the defense is bad. The missed tackles yesterday, unbelievable, and how they gashed them on the ground. So I think Denver can have a comfortable win here. And what you said too yesterday, that the Chip Kelly stuff just gets worse. And now he could get the Kentucky job. Did you see that?
No, I did not. Is that really
so?
Something
What did you say yesterday? He was mixing up
Yes.
the play call. He also was calling stuff that they didn't practice and wasn't in the game plan, and Geno Smith had no idea.
Right.
Oh, this is bad for Chip Kelly.
And now he might. I didn't see that report. Honestly,
There's a report he could get the Kentucky job. I don't know if it's going to happen, but his name was thrown out there after getting fired by the Raiders.
At this point in his career, how many people want to go and play for him?
Everyone in the building hated him too. I know.
Jesus.
Bizarre. Okay.
How about this respect here, or the lack thereof, for Chicago now? You've been saying this for 2 weeks. They were
respect.
They were catching 5.5 at Green Bay, up to 6.5.
Yep. Again, the 1 seed, 7th best odds to win the NFC, 14th to win the Super Bowl. Ben Johnson keeps doing it. And what happens if they win this game? I mean, you keep doubting him, like in the luck factor, I know. But the running game was so good against Philly. And he had a great line about we're winning in spite of our passing game, not because of it. Mm-hmm. He's right. Imagine if they can get the passing attack going. But he's down to 3-1 coach of the year. Damn right they can win this game when we know Green Bay, when they're laying more than 4, how bad they've been ATS.
Right. I'm going to tease Green Bay. This is going to be not an emotional hedge, but a hedge against my Ben Johnson coach of the year ticket. I'm teasing Green Bay down this week for sure, or playing them on the money line parlay, hoping I actually lose the bet.
Yeah, huge game.
Yep. Rams are 7.5 at the Cardinals. Total 48.5. Rams off of, again, I don't know what that was yesterday. Right down the field whenever they wanted to.
Yep. That was bad Stafford. It happened. Yep. He's human. He gave the game away. Could have done a better job defensively, too. I think they blow him out. And Arizona's lost 9 of 10 and can't stop anything.
I think this is maybe a team total over here for the Rams. They bounce back.
He's owned, McVay's owned Arizona, too.
Kicking ass and taking names here.
Yep.
I'll tell you what happens with the MVP odds if Drake May, absolutely balls out tonight?
Not much.
Oh, I beg to differ.
Really? I don't think much. I would watch what you need the Rams Seattle game. That'll probably decide everything.
Because it changed quite a bit yesterday. Stafford was minus 250. He's plus money now. So I think if May puts together a huge game tonight, I'm talking like 300 plus, couple touchdowns, does some damage on the ground, doesn't turn the ball over. Again, that's a lot can happen there. Easier said than done. But I think he's going to turn into he might be odds on after this game tonight. Not that I agree with it, but that could happen. And by the way, the market has no idea.
No.
They don't.
I would just say congratulations. You went against a horrible defense and did what you're supposed to do. But we'll see if there's a big move and what he does. Sunday night.
Yeah, the primetime games are so good this week.
Season's over if the Chiefs lose. Can't believe this. 3.5, 41.5 against Houston.
So think about this for a second now. Here we are, week 14 in December. And actually, look at that here at Circa, down to 3, minus 115.
Oh, wow.
So the Chiefs are now laying 3 in this game against Houston, a team that was dead a month ago. And in recent games, the Chiefs were 2.5 at Buffalo, 4.5 at Denver, and 3.5 on Thanksgiving at Dallas. All road games. And they were laying at least this much, if not more. Is it time to buy low on the Chiefs?
I can't do it. They burned me too many times. You also have the scenario where both conferences, 10-7, might not get you in the playoffs. That's another thing that can happen. 9-8 doesn't look good. But even if you win, you're still. I can't believe their odds. They lose all these tiebreakers with the exception of the Colts. And they're even money to make the playoffs.
Right.
But that didn't go well last year in the playoffs for Mahomes. This defense is so damn good for Houston.
It is fascinating to me how the power ratings have changed here. And you have to do that, obviously, throughout the year. But man, oh man, this Texans team, again, one of the scariest in the entire league.
Yep.
All right, that defense is so good.
I think we disagree on Monday night.
Okay.
Eagles are up to 3 now, 40.5. Herbert says he's going to play, but he broke his hand. And he still came in and he was slinging the ball around against the Raiders. But this is a whole different ball game against this defense. But the Chargers, you can beat them out through the air, and they can't protect them. And I keep saying this, but if they can't get right here on offense, it's just not going to happen. They got to win this game. The Eagles have got to win this game. Especially if Dallas wins Thursday. What an all-time choke job this will be if they would blow the division.
I got to tell you, 41's a total. I think we're going to get a game closer to the Philly games that we had like a month ago in prime time against Green Bay and Detroit. I think alt-unders is the way to look here. Because Paul, we're now 3+ months into the season. The offense is not going to come around.
Well, you saw the glimpse against Dallas, but then you blow the 21-0 lead.
Yeah, this is not going to go well for the Philadelphia offense. And I don't think it's going to go well for Herbert. And I think we're going to get a lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of punts, and a lot of nothing happening in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers beat him.
It might be Trey Lance, though, at some point.
That was an awkward-looking...
yeah, it's not like Rodgers
the finger was like hidden almost. You could barely see it.
Rodgers had full cast.
Yeah.
He just had some look like a sleeve on it.
Right.
What he was wearing.
Well, if it's Trey Lance, and obviously that changes everything. I just, no chance I would like him to win the game, obviously.
VSiN Pro subscribers have exclusive access to our AI player prop projections, powered by OptAI, the trusted data source, applying elite soccer analytics in the UK, quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, all compared directly to DraftKings lines to help you find value. Access it all with a VSiN Pro subscription, vsin.com/subscribe. Get it now. They're awesome. Everything's up there. Piece of cake, easy to use.
All right, more reaction to Week 13 coming up next. Warren Sharp's going to join the program. He joins us every single Monday at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific time. We'll get his thoughts on what he watched yesterday and some player props, I think, for tonight as well. Big game for the Patriots as they're 7.5 point favorites at home to the New York Giants. We'll discuss next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, more reaction to Week 13 in the NFL and a look at tonight's Monday night matchup as the Patriots are 7.5 point favorites over the Giants. We head out now to the Progressive guest line. Warren Sharp joins the program. His website is sharp.football, on X at sharpfootball. Warren, good afternoon. Pleasure, as always. We were just talking about the Chiefs in this next weekend's game. Sunday Night Football. They're 3.5 against the Texans, and I was pointing out in recent games, funny to look at this now with the movement in the power ratings, they were 2.5 at Buffalo, 4.5 at Denver, 3.5 at Dallas. They lost all those games, and now back to a 3.5 point favorite against a team that we thought was dead about a month ago. So overall, what are you watching here with the Chiefs and their biggest problems in general?
Some of their biggest problems, I just think it's partly aggressiveness from a game plan perspective and partly aggressiveness inside of the red zone. And we could touch on both of those real quick, but I do think it was funny. I just wrote this quote down from Andy Reid. He said to a reporter earlier today when asked, why do you think you guys can go 5-0 to make the postseason? You might need to win all 5 of these games. Andy Reid was very confident, and he says, we're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play of every game. Now, I'll just say this. They haven't really been tickling our tonsils so far, especially over the last 5 weeks. They played 4 games. They've only won 1 of those games. And it's not because they can't necessarily drive the ball into the red zone. It's their play calling and execution down inside of the red zone. They have taken, over those last 5 weeks where they've gone 1-3, they have taken 40% of possessions into the red zone. That's the 4th best mark of any team in the league. But they're converting just 44% of those red zone trips into touchdowns. That ranks 25th in the NFL. They're converting 1 out of every 2 trips inside the 10-yard line into a touchdown. that ranks 23rd in the NFL. So this is a team in their first 8 games, they were converting 71% of their red zone trips into touchdowns, which was 4th best. Now that percentage is all the way down to 44%. They have to get more aggressive with their play calls and try to score on earlier downs so that if their 3rd down or 4th down performance isn't perfect, they don't miss out on scoring a touchdown. This is one of the things that this team was excellent with, which we knew was going to regress from last season, where they were absurdly great on 3rd downs last year. They're not having that 3rd down efficiency down inside of the red zone this year, and it's costing them points, and they have to figure out a way to get more aggressive on early downs. I'll also state that when you watch that Cowboys game against the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, the Kansas City Chiefs actually on first half early downs ran the ball 50% of the time. Where does that rank? That ranked barely ahead of Marcus Mariota's Commanders last night and Kirk Cousins' Falcons on Sunday. And it also ranked just behind Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. This is a team that was up 18-3 at halftime in terms of Trevor Lawrence. They were actively trying not to have Trevor Lawrence lose the game by running the ball at a relatively high rate. So this is Patrick Mahomes. This is the Kansas City Chiefs offense. This is the going up against the Dallas Cowboys, whose run defense improved a ton, whose pass defense is the weak link, and you're calling a ton of run plays with an aging Kareem Hunt. I don't understand what Andy Reid's doing from a play calling perspective, but if they're going to try to reel this off starting Sunday night, as you mentioned, against the Texans this upcoming week, they have to get more aggressive earlier on in games from a play calling perspective, and especially down inside of the red zone from an execution perspective, specifically on early downs.
Very good. We had a fun discussion before you came on about what's going to happen tonight with Jackson Dart rushing. He's all the way down to 28.5. And I still think it's who he is, and he's going to take off and run, but just slide or, get out of bounds and don't take that extra hit. What do you think happens tonight?
Yeah, look, I mean, this is in his DNA,
yes.
And they've talked about the fact that at some point, this has to be Jackson's start decision. Does he want to have a career? If he does, he needs to figure out a way to get down. But I can tell you this, taking a quarterback who is accustomed to getting out of the pocket and moving with the football and either moving to pass or moving to scramble, and then trying to tell him, nope, you can't do that, just stand in the pocket and throw the football, is probably a recipe for disaster. So I don't necessarily think that we're going to see that type of game plan from Mike Kafka, who is, at this point in time, coaching for his future. He's trying to call great plays here to try to perform well against these teams down the stretch so that either the New York Giants or another team will look to hire him. Don't forget that Mike Kafka, when he was with Andy Reid, was one of the hot button coaches, was one of the coaches to, look out for in terms of getting a head coaching position. It never worked out for him. So he left Andy Reid's nest to go work with Brian Daboll in hopes that that could help propel him. And here he is, getting that opportunity down the end of the season. A prop that I'm looking at in this game, though, is if Jackson Dart is looking to get rid of the ball, in some cases quicker, he might be looking to get rid of the ball underneath to Tyrone Tracy, who has recorded 50-plus receiving yards in each of his last 2 games. Albeit those came with Jameis Winston at quarterback. Now they're going to try to get those receiving yards from Jackson Dart. But I still think that there is the upside and the potential for him to have success in doing that. And if you look at his receiving yardage prop, it's hovering right around, I want to say between 18.5 and 20.5, depends where you shop. You can look for his longest reception between 10.5 and 11.5. And most of the times when he's gaining those bigger ladders that I tend to go to on some of these receiving backs, it's because of a longer reception. So I'm looking at that to get started with some of the receiving output for him. But I absolutely think that there's an opportunity here. The New England Patriots are allowing 5.4 catches per game to opposing running backs. That's 3rd most in the NFL. The New England Patriots are allowing a ton of success for those running backs through the air and some efficiency on the upside from a passing perspective. And as a result, I think that there's some upside here. You're a 7-point underdog on the road. You may not have as much success running the football. You may need to lean into the pass. And here's an outlet where the New England Patriots, much more stout against the run, much weaker against the pass for running backs, and that you should be looking to target your running backs. Now, the question always becomes, which running back is going to be the beneficiary? Is it going to be Devin Singletary, or is it going to be Tyrone Tracy? Devin Singletary didn't have a single catch last week. Tyrone Tracy was used a little bit more in that role. Don't forget that Devin Singletary followed Brian Daboll from Buffalo. Brian Daboll absolutely adores, they calls him Motor, Devin Singletary. But Tyrone Tracy might be more Mike Kafka's speed. And let's go over in Tyrone Tracy's receiving yardage as well as his longest in this game.
Very good. Warren Sharp, our guest. Follow him on X at Sharp Football, and he is on the progressive guest line. I'm looking at the Carolina Panthers right now in the standings. They're 7-6. The Buccaneers are 7-5, a half a game up on them in the NFC South. However, Carolina has a negative 50-point differential. This can't be sustainable, is it?
No, well, speaking of it, you're exactly right. And talk about the way that they won that game against the Rams. If they did not have the efficiency on 3rd and 4th downs from an EPA perspective, they would not have won that game. This team gained 19.8 EPA on just 3rd and 4th downs. 19, almost 20 expected points just on 3rd and 4th downs. Obviously, that was the difference in this game. That was this not only the most of any team this past week, it was the second most of any team over the entire season in a particular game, was what the Carolina Panthers did. They threw 2 passing touchdowns on 4th down. Look, it's fun to see Bryce Young turn himself around and look like a more functional, respectable quarterback. And so that's great. I mean, I definitely was one of the guys that was writing Bryce Young off. And so if he can actually turn into something and perform well, then that's better for the NFL. It's good to have good quarterbacks in the NFL. So I would be all for that. But that type of performance on 4th down, I would credit Bryce Young from an execution perspective, but also that coaching staff and their decisions to call those plays. And we've always seen Bryce Young, if you recall, when he started last year and he started this year, just wasn't the same type of quarterback. But when it was, hey, let your hair out, we have nothing left to lose, that's when Bryce Young is playing at his best. And so some of those 4th downs where it's like, hey, if we lose this game, but just go out there and try to fit the ball in on 4th down, we're calling a pass play. Like when you have nothing left to lose, that's when Bryce Young seems to be playing at his best. And if the team can try to figure out more opportunities, put him in that position, then it's better for the Carolina Panthers upside. That NFC South division, though, certainly not really a respected division at this moment. It's fun to see Bucky Irving back, though, and watching him get more worked in to yesterday's game. He was definitely a big part of their victory over the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm hoping to see him regain that confidence down the stretch and play really well as well.
Yep, same here. Warren, awesome stuff as always. Enjoy the game tonight. We appreciate it.
Good luck, guys.
There you go. Again, his website is sharp.football as well. By the way, here you go. Good tweet from Doug Clausen. The Panthers are 2-0 as a 10-plus point dog this season, winning at Green Bay and against the Rams. The rest of the league is 0-14. Their 7 upset wins are tied for the most by any team through 13 games since 1970. And that was the 2016 Buccaneers.
I can't believe it.
Well, the second most EPA gained in a game on 3rd and 4th downs yesterday against the Rams of all teams.
And then what Stafford did. Oh, man.
I know.
3 bad turnovers.
The good, the bad, and the ugly from the weekend coming up next. This sport has always had a love-hate feel to it, and the love is eroding faster and faster by the day.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN. The good.
Pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good.
The bad.
I've had it with this job. Got no food, got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
And the ugly.
First of all, that's horrible.
Wow, that was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
The good, the bad, the ugly, brought to you by sharpplays.com. Get the latest betting insights and analysis now. Sharpplays.com.
Look, this is probably results-based. I couldn't believe he did it, but I have to put Kalen DeBoer in my good. And I absolutely feel for anybody who had Auburn plus the points. That's a horrific beat. But I think the reason why he did that is because he knew deep down inside that if he kicked the field goal, his defense wasn't going to get a stop. And they weren't going to win that game potentially. He didn't want to go to overtime. And also, if you think about the onions that it took to go for it in that spot, because if you do lose then eventually, if you don't get it, you're out of the playoff. He might get fired. And I kind of think deep down inside that Lane Kiffin was waiting specifically to see what was going to happen at the end of that game. But I couldn't believe in real time that he did it, and it paid off for him, and unbelievable. Diego Pavia, to do this at Vanderbilt, how long have they been the laughingstock of college football, specifically like in the group of 5?
And they can't make the playoff, and they had this kind of season.
Isn't that sick?
This will never happen again.
If you told me right now that he has to win the Heisman Trophy, you could give me 1,000 reasons why, and I'd say, I completely agree. But now he probably can't do that because he doesn't have an extra game, and Sam plays Mendoza in the Big Ten title game, so it'll probably come to that extra stupid game that we have. But for Pavia to do this at Vanderbilt, that alone should probably win him the Heisman Trophy. And overall, parity. And they put up both logos. If I just said, man, I love the parity in football right now, you wouldn't have any idea if I was talking about college football or the NFL. Maybe I'm not even a college football fan. I don't even pay attention. Maybe I hate the NFL. It's both.
Yeah.
Now, is it actually like people are going to argue I'd rather have, excellent teams and we want to know who's really, really good? I will say from a betting standpoint, this opens it up where you're going to have some big tickets coming in at some point, either to make the playoff, to make the semifinals, a Texas Tech ticket at like 301. In the NFL, I don't know what the hell's going to happen in the NFL.
Yeah. Good job. My good. Here's what you're talking about. How about Kennesaw State? They play Friday in the Conference USA title game. They were 100-1 to win the conference. They joined FBS in 2023.
Crazy.
What a story this is.
Yep.
A couple years ago, they were terrible. And now here they are with a chance to win their league at a big price. And I love this North Texas story. How about North Texas in the playoff, but not Texas? And Drew Mestamaker, their quarterback, 29-4 touchdown INT ratio. They're 11-1. Remember we saw him was it last year in the bowl game where he threw up after the long touchdown run? He's 19 years old. He didn't play in high school. He was a safety and a punter. This guy could play in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's 6'5". He can sling it. Incredible story. A walk-on at North Texas and leading the way for the Mean Green. Go get him, kid.
All right. By the way, they would probably get Texas Tech. Is that correct if they make the playoffs?
I would think Texas Tech should be higher and not the 5 seed, but no way. Yeah, they got to be the 4, won't you think?
I would hope.
But that scenario like that, you could have some weird matchups.
My bad. The Colts, the free fall is in motion. You could see this coming a long time ago, and it's unfortunate for this team. But the Danny Dimes injury changes how he has to play the game. And they actually might miss the playoffs. They were the 1 seed not that long ago and could miss the playoffs, and you can see it happening in real time. Also, my bad, the Michigan Wolverines. Look, you got pounded. Okay, you won 4 straight. Knock it off with guarding the logo. Right? I don't know. You just got to take it as a man sometimes. Take it like a man sometimes and allow the other team to do that. And let them point at the scoreboard and dance all over the logo. It sucks, but guarding it, come on.
Yeah.
Knock it off. It's my bad. My ugly, you can expand on this too, Pauly, but the entire college football landscape right now, the Lane Kiffin situation was a joke the entire time. Think about that. I mean, leaving a team in the playoffs to go to somebody else inside
Rival.
that conference,
Yeah.
it's absolutely sickening. And
Playing the victim?
and he's done this over and over and over again. Boy, it's not easy to like and root for him whatsoever. And the playoff system in general could not be more screwed up if they tried. The computer systems, how UNLV is playing in the Mountain West, why Miami's not even in the ACC title game, and how Miami and Notre Dame might both get left out somehow of the playoff. What a disaster.
That's all my bad. That's my ugly. It's the same one. What happened to the sport I used to love? What have they done to this sport? The people in charge have no idea what they're doing. Number one, Kiffin, Pat Forty. He lit the season and his reputation on fire. He always wants to get his way. He's hated at every place he's been.
Yeah.
And you saw what they give him the middle finger salute when he left Ole Miss at the airport. Also, what LSU, do you want to win? Are you that desperate? You're going to spend $13 million a year on this guy? If you fire him, you owe him 80% of the contract? You still have to pay Brian Kelly $54 million. They still have to pay Orgeron when they fired him. The governor's involved. They are paying him his bonus if Ole Miss wins games in the playoff. They also will cover the difference up to $500,000 between the purchase price of his home in Mississippi and a new house in Baton Rouge. If they win a national title, he also becomes immediately the highest paid coach in college football as well. Notre Dame, Miami. We are ignoring head-to-head and also common opponents and just saying, well, we just think they're better in eye test because they beat up on bad teams and blow them and have had several blowouts over the course of the last couple months. Oh, we're a different team now. No, it doesn't work that way. How about when we played when it counted? We played you, we beat you, and we're more impressive than common opponents. This is absolutely absurd and asinine if they take Notre Dame over Miami. Also, you are not serious, ACC, that you don't have a tiebreaker in place, that if a team is ranked top 15 or top 10, they don't win a tiebreaker or you don't take them, and you got a 5-loss Duke team that's in there. Miami also has common opponents with Duke. What are you doing? James Madison and North Texas can be in the playoff. The Mountain West, you talked about the computer situation with the 4-way tie. How is UNLV in when they lost to New Mexico and they lost to Boise State? And San Diego State beat Boise. None of this makes sense, but it's going to keep happening. They did it to themselves with the super conferences and all these stupid tiebreakers, how this can work. And it's a luck of the draw with the schedule, how it can play out and how they did this. It's a disgrace what they've done to college football.
For a long time, it was my second favorite sport behind college basketball. And this thing has slipped so far down, I've gotten to the point now where I am apathetic towards the sport, and that's the last thing that you want fans to turn into. You don't want them to be showing signs of apathy. And the only thing I care about in college football is winning my bets, and that's absolutely sad. My fandom has been ripped out of my soul.
Two more. Mark Stoops went 72-80 at Kentucky. They owe him $37 million.
Smart.
Jonathan Smith went 9-15 at Michigan State. They owe him $30 million. And it just keeps happening.
Of course it does. The Kiffin thing, like you said, LSU, you had to have the guy that bad? Lane Kiffin?
Yeah, am I missing? Does he have 4 Super Bowls?
Yeah, is he Nick Saban?
Why would you pay this?
You're going to go, right, oh my God, the whole thing never made any sense to me whatsoever. And it needs to be pointed out, good luck with this when he goes to Alabama whenever DeBoer is fired. Because that will probably happen.
That's his dream job. That's why he waited until the Alabama game was over. Number one, if they lost, he was in the SEC title. They were, and that would have been a fiasco.
Sure.
Number two, we thought there was a chance if they lost, they were going to fire DeBoer. That's why he didn't sign the contract. Even though the house was picked out a week ago, though, too.
We always said when we were doing local shows here in town many years ago that he was the Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Right? Somehow kept getting great jobs. You're like, what are we missing here? What's the actual comparison to this guy?
He was horrible at USC. Horrible.
Yeah.
The offense was a disaster. But he's done a better job. I'll give him that.
No, Ole Miss,
I was
sure.
stunned. Give Saban credit. Yeah, he became the OC at Alabama. But that just goes back to what he's like. He fired him before the national title game because he couldn't handle doing 2 things at the same time and was focused on the Florida Atlantic game.
Yeah.
And Saban's out there saying he should be able to coach. Are you nuts?
Both of them were.
Well, Herbstreit's just being told to say that, being fed that.
I'm sure.
Through the agency and the agents and all the other crap.
Right.
That's terrible. Sharp Place is already out there before the line moves. They don't just follow the market. They help move it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own. With the Sharp Plays, you don't have to. Robin Hood Plays donated $22,000 to charity the last couple of years. The Mr. Poison tweets, Jeff and the crew at it since 2011. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. SharpPlays.com, trusted by pros, watched by the books.
The entry named Love My Baxter joins us next. He was one of the winners in Circa Survivor the first season, and now had a piece of Grandissimo and took that down as well over the weekend.